This is my response to session 19, question set 1 from Alex. Do you think that teachers in university settings should be talked about as healers? Um, I don't think there's a problem with it. I don't think it's a requirement either. And the concept I kind of got from reading the article is that I think more in terms of healing, I think healing can be, a number of things. I think it can be, filling gaps in education that kind of makes someone's understanding of the world a little bit more complete. That could be it. But also, kind of the spiritual growth thing that we mention could be it too. But I actually feel like more impact can be done at lower levels of education, on the elementary levels, getting people when they're a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more impressionable, and not to exploit them, but to kind of give them the tools they need to kind of live more productive lives, by having a more well-rounded view of things. Question 2: recalling your experience in college so far, do you agree with this quote from Engaged Pedagogy? I learned, along with other students, to consider myself fortunate if I found a professor who talked in a compelling way. Most of my professors were not the slightest bit interested in enlightenment. Um, every once in a while, I guess I've found a couple of professors that are really engaging. But I feel like answering this question is a little unfair because a large majority of my schooling, college education, has been done online. I did go to UW Rock County for a little while, and I do remember a couple of professors that were really compelling. I had a philosophy professor that was really compelling, but I guess that subject matter kind of forces you to be. And also an English teacher that was really cool, and not the not a super hard teacher, but at the same time, he worked to make sure you had an understanding of what was going on, and a lot of people kind of viewed him as like a friend, and he was cool, but he still did his job. So yeah, I guess so. And question 3: have you ever had any teachers or professors who have gone beyond just teaching the curriculum and have offered spiritual or intellectual guidance? Um, I don't really think so in terms of if you're isolating it only to spiritual and intellectual guidance. I've had a lot of cool teachers that, taught some cool things, but, I think, and were personable. I think there's a big difference between, just being personable and well liked and actually going in the extra mile to offer spiritual and intellectual guidance. So while I'm thinking about a lot of my favorite teachers over the years, there haven't been a ton, that have actually reached that. Most of the good memories of a lot of teachers I've had were just kind of, they were interesting, and cool, but I can say that, a lot of the subject matter I've taken to doesn't really lend to that, and I feel like a lot of professors that I've had and teachers, try to remain objective and stick to teaching material. So no one that comes to mind.